Ko auraki te maukariki, ko tūtoko te maukatipuna, ko makawhio o te awa tapu, ko urua o te waka, ko rākai hautu te tangata, ko te tauraka waka Māui te marae, ko kāti māhaki ki makawhio o te hapu, ko kaitahu, ko waitaha, ko kāti māmoe ngā iwi, ko Susan Wallace ahau. There are still places on the coast that are so remote. And so when we think about how do we serve our community, when we've got rural communities that are properly rural, it means that we've got to think about how we do that in a different way. We also have quite a few families that still live intergenerationally, whether they're Māori or non-Māori. We think about some of our farming communities. And so, again, that brings a different perspective, I think, in terms of the way that we not only build well-being, but actually acknowledge how a lot of our whānau on the coast have to be so resilient because if something happens, it means that sometimes they're on their own. How we can make sure that we can bring the oranga tools that they need to continue to remain resilient in their communities. The Poutini community has been used to coming together in times of challenge, and it was nice to come together in a time and with a kaupapa that while challenging, we weren't brought together in terms of responding to challenge. We were brought together in faith, in covenant building, to actually look at such a positive idea of what does it look like if our communities on the coast are thriving, if they're well. What can we change in a system? What can we transform? And how can we work together across multiple agencies to ensure that our focus is actually on wellbeing, whether that is from a health perspective, whether that is from a housing perspective, whether that's from an income perspective, and whether it is from connecting people together, that perspective. There's been some wonderful examples already in the very, very short and brief time that Takiwā Poutini has been operating of how when agencies come together to work, the outcomes for our whānau, for our families, for our communities is so much easier to achieve. It is such a shame that the idea of localities, of these prototypes, might not be a mode of transformation in the future. We're meeting in March to refocus, to have a look at where we're going, to come forward with some ideas about what beyond 2025 looks like. I think from a local perspective, I don't think the relationships are going to be lost. It may just mean that we're operating in a different mode on that wellbeing space for everyone on the West Coast, no matter who.